Hi, my name is Simon Exton and I work in the customer support department of Micro Focus. The product I support is ZMF, and today I will be demonstrating how to apply traces to the started task. In front of you you'll see a TSO session in SDSF and also a text document regarding the steps and the commands that you need to place to enable the trace to be enabled. In some instances, support find it hard to recreate and identify the issue that customers are reporting. So in order to get extra information from the changeman started task, we need to apply traces so we can identify if there's anything that's not quite right in what is happening in the started task. Now I've split these commands into kind of three areas. The first two commands, the CMN and SIR trace commands, are the most common traces, and they capture everything that happens within the SIRNet and changeman started task. The second group are more user ID specific. Now this is normally required if you want to trace any RACF issues or specific issues that are happening to a specific user cross developer that might be hitting an issue. And the last and third one is the HLLX trace. Now this replaces all the panel exits, and sometimes you get issues where the exit is not performing as you'd require, and maybe some variables aren't being set or some kind of other issue that you cannot diagnose and solve yourself. So in this instance we would have to apply the HLX trace on the started task. Now I must warn that when you apply these traces, a huge amount of spool will be produced. So it is imperative that you keep the trace on at a minimum so that you can capture the information quickly and then make the started task go back to its normal routines. And to turn them off, I've explained in point 3 that you replace yes with no and on with off, depending on the type of trace that you are invoking. Now once you have recreated it and disabled the traces, you need to send the whole of the output of the started task to support. Now the best way of doing this is downloading it and applying it to the incident number via our support line support interface on the web. But please make sure when you are downloading the trace data or the started task output, you have a record length of at least 161 characters. This will avoid truncating the trace output, just in case you truncate some XML, which could be important when trying to diagnose the issue. Now in order to apply the trace commands, I've done an example here that will enable the changeman part of the trace to be enabled on the started task. As you can see, our started task name is SIRSUP i6.SIR6. So all we do is do a /f command and then the step name of the started task, which is SIR6, and then we apply the other trace palms to the command. And as you can see, in this instance we're going to turn on the CMN trace. So you press the enter, and basically if you go into the started task, do a question mark and go into the SIR print. And if I quickly go down, as you can see it's doing lots of trace data now, and you should, I'm hoping, I'll do a find on trace. Okay, there. So you can actually see where my trace command has been applied, and it's saying that the trace classes have been set. Now as you can see, there's lots and lots of spool being taken up by the trace. So you go away, recreate your problem, and then all you do is toggle off the trace. So in order to do that, you basically do the same command, but instead of yes, you put no. And then you press enter, and that will stop the trace output. If I go down to the bottom of the spool output, you will see trace no, and the trace classes are set. So that is in all what you have to do, and that will be enough for support to recreate or diagnose what the issue is when identifying a customer's issue. I do hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.